She laughed at the wrong human. She thought he was weak, until the room went completely silent, and every alien—
The Hall of Vael'Dara was built to make visitors feel small. Vaulted obsidian ceilings stretched 100 feet overhead. Glowing silver veins ran through the walls like a slow heartbeat. Hundreds of blue-skinned Savari nobles in gold ceremonial armor filled the tiered galleries on both sides, laughing softly, speaking quietly, wearing the relaxed expressions of people who had never once felt genuinely threatened. Every face in that hall belonged to someone who had never gone hungry, never bled, never lain awake in the dark wondering if something in it was listening back. Then there was Sergeant Daren Cole, 32 years old. 6 feet of dense muscle and old scar tissue in a black tactical suit with a gold triangle insignia on the shoulder. Hands clasped behind his back. Face completely unreadable, not the stillness of peace, but the stillness of long practice deciding not to show anything. He stood 3 paces behind Lady Vaelith Sorin, exactly where protocol demanded. Lady Vaelith was 312 years old. Deep indigo skin, black hair braided with gold wire, court robes worth more than most planetary budgets. She had accepted the human bodyguard as a diplomatic gesture, with the mild amusement of someone given an unusual pet. Interesting for a moment, ultimately harmless. After 2 hours of formal court proceedings, she was ready for entertainment. She turned to face him mid-sentence, one slender blue finger raised to her lips, laughter already forming at the corners of her mouth. "Tell me, little creature, do they even have predators on your world? Or did your kind simply trip into civilization by accident?" Laughter swept through the gallery immediately. Warm, unguarded, genuine. Humans were soft and brief and fragile. The diplomatic files listed Earth as a class 4 world, pleasant, green, temperate, unremarkable in almost every way. Daren said nothing for 3 full seconds. He stood exactly as before, hands behind his back, weight evenly distributed, expression carrying nothing the room could read. Not hurt, not embarrassed, simply waiting, the way a landscape waits. When he spoke, his voice was quiet, level, requiring nothing from anyone in the room. "Earth is a death world, my lady." The laughter stopped, not because of the words, because of how he said them. The flat, absolute certainty of a man stating a coordinate. Someone for whom this fact was so simply, foundationally true that arguing for it had never once crossed his mind. In the front gallery, Lord Varek, Vaelith's uncle, 3 centuries old, a former council intelligence officer, shifted in his seat. He had read the restricted files. His face changed the way trained intelligence officers' faces change when a classified threat assessment suddenly becomes personally relevant. The color left his skin slowly and carefully. "My lady," Daren continued, voice still quiet, "Earth's oceans hold creatures large enough to swallow animals bigger than your largest transport vessels. Our forests have predators that hunt by body heat and sustain 60 kilometers per hour for extended distances. We share our world with species whose venom stops a heart in under 10 seconds. We have insects, my lady, whose colonies contain millions of members operating as a single coordinated military intelligence. One breath, measured, unhurried. We did not come from Earth in spite of those things. We evolved alongside them. We competed against them, without scales, without venom, without armor of any kind, for 300,000 years before we built our first city. Every instinct we carry, every reflex, every piece of our biology was forged by an environment that was actively trying to kill us from birth. We did not escape that world. We were built by it." The hall went so quiet the silver veins in the walls were audible for the first time. Vaelith's smile remained on her face, but it had become a mask. Her pupils had widened, the involuntary SciFi response when genuine threat assessment overrides social instinct. 3 centuries of composure held the surface, but underneath it something far older was running hard calculations. Daren's eyes moved across the gallery, unhurried, methodical. Exits. Elevated positions. Distances between bodies. He had done this the moment he walked in. He was simply letting them see him doing it again, calmly, without any concern about whether they noticed. Several of them noticed. A death world, Lord Varric said quietly, mostly to himself. A technical designation, a planet so extreme that whatever survived it long enough to develop intelligence came out as something the standard classification systems could not neatly account for. Something that did not need to appear threatening to be a threat. A young lord who had been laughing loudest leaned toward his companion to say something. She gave one quiet shake of her head. He closed his mouth and did not open it again. Vaelith composed herself with the skill of 3 centuries. Too proud for visible retreat, but too intelligent, ultimately, to keep pushing. "You speak plainly," she said.
"Careful now."
Measured. "I was selected because I am effective, my lady," Daren replied. "Not because I am decorative." Silence followed. The specific silence of a room full of intelligent beings who have just been quietly, firmly, and permanently corrected about something they were very confidently wrong about. No one in the Hall of Vael'Dara laughed again that afternoon. And not one SciFi noble in that hall, from the youngest attendant to Lord Varric himself, looked at Sergeant Daren Cole the way they had when he walked through those obsidian doors. He stood 3 paces behind Lady Vaelith, hands behind his back, face unreadable. He looked exactly as he had before, quiet, small, unremarkable. That was, of course, the most dangerous thing about him.